who's ready for a twist on a traditional favorite, double smoked ham? Let's get started. All right, the first thing we want to do when we get our ham out of the pack is absolutely nothing. Dry it off. If you want to put rub on it or some Dijon mustard, you've seen some of my older videos where I've done that. All of that is just techniques. You can try it any which way you want. But for me today, I'm just took this ham out of the pack, dried it off. We're gonna get it on our Traeger Ironwood XL. We've got it fired up with some royal oak charcoal pellets. I'm gonna let it go at 275 degrees for about an hour and a half and then look at it. After that, we'll determine whether we're gonna start basting our glaze on or not, and we're gonna get a nice, sticky, cherry pineapple glazed ham. Let's get going. All right, we've got our Traeger fired up here, rolling. Nice little smoke. So I'm gonna use a cooling rack today. This is totally optional. You don't have to use one if you don't have one or anything like that. It just makes it easy when it comes time to pick the ham up to move it back over to the cutting board, right? With all that glaze and stuff on it. So I'm gonna let it get on here, let it go for about an hour and a half, and we'll be back to check on it. All right, our ham has been on smoking for about an hour and a half. Our timer just went off. Let's get in here and look at it. Now, I know it's not gonna be done. I just kinda wanna show you at an hour and a half at 275 degrees what your ham is looking like so far. As you can see, the ham is in here and you can see it wants to start separating, but it hadn't yet. And so we're gonna keep smoking it. I'm gonna set the timer for another hour, let it go. And in that hour, we're gonna make a glaze up, and maybe at the 2.5 hour mark, it's gonna be ready to start basting it. If not, we'll let it go on to the 3rd hour. We'll be back in an hour. All right, it's time to get in our Traeger and check our ham. 2.5 hours in, 275 degrees. This ham is looking beautiful. Look at that. We're at about 110 degrees, which we're trying to heat this ham up to about 140. So I'm gonna shut the lid, and it's time to make a glaze. It's not gonna be long. We're gonna get ready to start building some flavor on this ham. All right, our glaze for our ham is gonna be simple and easy. I'm taking some of my cherry apple habanero glaze here. Gonna get it in my pot. I'm probably doing a little more than a half a cup of each one, where I have about a cup total. Now, I'm gonna come back with a little bit of pecan rub just for a little bit of hint of savoriness. And I'm gonna put it in the glaze, not try to sprinkle it on a ham. I'm probably putting a full tablespoon in there. Woo! I'm gonna get this glaze over on the grill, let it start heating up for about 10 or 15 minutes. Then we're gonna start glazing this ham. All right, our ham's been on 2 hours and 45 minutes here. Our glaze is starting to get bubbly. Our ham is hitting about 115, 120 degrees. So I think we're dead on the money to start glazing this up. Ooh, look at this. You just wanna kind of baste it on is all you're doing. I'm gonna tell y'all, this ham is gonna be some kind of good right here. Now, once you kind of get all that kind of basted on there, I'm gonna leave my baste on the grill. I'm gonna get it shut and give it about 15, 20 minutes, come back, baste a little more on. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. Let's get some more glaze on this ham. All right, I'm gonna get this grill lid shut and let it go a little while longer, about another 10 minutes. And we're gonna look at pulling a ham. All right, I've shut my grill off, let it cool down, finishing the last glaze on this ham here. We've had a total cook time of 3 hours at 275 degrees. And I can tell you, those royal oak charcoal pellets done their job. Y'all could smell this double smoked ham, the way it smells. It looks phenomenal here. Now I'm gonna take some napkins here. I don't wanna get burned. Look at that. That is a monster of a ham. That is beautiful. I tell you, when everything starts separating like that, no smoke gets in between those slices, and that sweet, sticky glaze gets in there like that, that's when you know you're gonna have a good meal. All right, as you can see, our double smoked ham is off the grill. So what made our ham just a little bit unique from being traditional, you know, usually my grandmother would take cherries and pineapples and kind of stick all around the ham. And she would baste it with a little bit of Coca-Cola, honestly, is what she used. She never used a dry rub or anything like that. I've seen her do it with spiral hams, and I also seen her do it that way with green hams. So I was sitting around and thinking this year, I kind of want to do kind of a similar play, except I didn't baste with Coke or anything. I took our cherry apple glaze and our pineapple, mixed them together, and I used a little bit of pecan rub. And after about 2 hours, I started basting it on this ham, and I can tell y'all, after about 3 bastes, you can see for yourself, this ham turned out great. Now, I didn't even have a knife over here at the cutting board. I'm just looking. I'm gonna grab me a piece and try it. That's the truth. I'm gonna carve this ham up for later and use it. Oh, a good old sweet sticky end piece. Let's give it a try. I'm only picking up just a tad bit of heat out of the glazes. A lot of that cooks off. But I will tell you, this ham tastes great. This is definitely gonna be one of my go-to ham recipes moving forward. I really like the flavor combination that it provided with a little bit of pecan rub. It's not as sweet as you think, but it's got that traditional flair to it in some sort of way, especially with the smoke penetrating this ham like it did being smoked again. Really, really, really good. Really good. Now, with that being said, it's time for a ham sandwich. But if you like what we're doing on our channel, be sure to like, subscribe, follow along. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Pinterest, and of course YouTube. I'll see you next week with another video.